Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our continued playthrough of Massive Darkness 2 Hellscape. And in this episode, we are going to play the first scenario of the main book. I am planning to play a campaign, but I didn't feel after the last episode that I was ready to do that. I thought I wanted to play the second scenario in the main book, which, by the way, can be played as linked adventures. And you can do that. So I guess we're kind of doing that today because we're rolling into the next one, and I've got a little story to tell because we're going to carry over one character, and that character is going to be joined by two others. Now, I was asked to play the Necromancer, and I'm not going to do that yet because I had a theme, and that was I wanted to call it the Wild Bunch, and they were basically people who were connected to nature and the woods and the forest and nature, etc. So we're going to do that with these characters. So if you recall in the last adventure, we had to close a rift, and one of the characters, Nahaius, the ranger, the centaur ranger, had left there realizing that this was a bigger threat and uncovered where the next threat would be, and so gathered at the berserker Gita that he was with decided to leave, but he gathered some additional forces in the form of Urk, a magical shaman who can control the elements and also has a burning desire to do the right thing and make sure that hell does not escape into the world and the effects of the massive darkness. And then also joined by the character Zuri. We're going to look at these in just a little bit. Zuri is a druid who has the ability to change form and become an eagle, a bear, or a raccoon. So pretty cool stuff, and we're going to get to see them in action with all of their unique abilities. And again, I was asked to play the Necromancer, and I apologize to the person who asked me because I do want to do that, but not in this particular playthrough. So I do have everything set up for this session. You can see everything is set up here and ready to go. By the way, this game is a table hog. It takes up a lot of space, but it's super cool. And I have to say, based on my experience with the first session, I got a few things wrong, but I corrected them along the way, and I forgot to use the fire arrow power that Nahaius had the entire time, but we'll see it in this one. And the funny thing is that I liked Massive Darkness, the original one. I thought it was pretty good, and I enjoyed it. But this, I think they really outdid themselves and made massive improvements on this version of the game. So I'm pretty excited that we're getting to play this today. I love how asymmetric the characters have become. Before they had a different power and da-da-da-da-da. But I mean, these characters, the 10 characters in the game, are truly distinctive in how they operate, yet it fits into the game mechanics really smoothly, and they're none too complicated, which is very, very nice. I could tell some love went into this version of the game. Now, two of the characters are from the main box, which is easy to deal with. That is going to be Urk and Nahaius. Urk the shaman and Nahaius the ranger. But the third one is from one of the expansions, and is our druid. The druid is, of course, there are 10 characters. If you get everything, there are 10 character classes as I understand it. There's bards, tinkers, berserkers, paladins, rangers, rogues, shamans, necromancers, somebody else too. I'm blanking out on one of them. Anyway, there's plenty of character variety, so you could play this exact same scenario again with different characters and have a different feel for it. But we're going to play the Wild Bunch, and we got these three nature-based characters: a centaur ranger. I don't even know what race Urk is. It looks like Urk looks like some kind of fairy or pixie or something like that, and Zuri looks like an African shaman or something, even though she's a druid, and it looks super cool. And I just can't wait to play them. Let's talk about their miniatures real quick. Here is Zuri's miniature. Pretty outstanding. I got to paint these. I know, and never get to it. This is Urk. See, Urk is some kind of fairy, pixie creature. And then, of course, Nahaius, who has recruited these two to go continue the quest of stopping the massive darkness. And there's a bunch of other miniatures that you'll see along with this one. I'll give you an example. This is the eagle that Zuri can turn into. So let's talk about our scenario real quick, and then we'll just get into the gameplay. You'll see all the miniatures and all the stuff that they're doing as we go. It says the proliferation of portals around Krondor suggests some sort of horrific sacrifice has been made. There's nothing we can do about that, but we might as well take advantage of the situation. something around here could lead to the infernal realm. We could take the battle to them this time, mad as it may seem. And that's what we're doing. We're going to be playing Highway to Hellscape, and this is the board right here. You can see we're starting way down here. Down at the other end there is a portal. Now, here's the quest objectives. Complete the quests in order. We're going to open the gate, press both switches. So there's 2 tokens here. There's one here and one here. We have to get to those first. Those are the switches. We're going to flip them, and that's going to allow us to get to the main altar. Then we're going to enter the hellscape by escaping via the altar. The gate, the gate door, this is this one up here, way up here at the top. It cannot be entered until those switches have been flipped. But enemies can freely move through the door. Unfortunately, our light bringers, the people, our heroes that are bringing light to the darkness, cannot make it through. And it cannot be opened by conventional means. So that's what we have to do. Now, we're going to open the gate. The switches are represented by the colored side up objective tokens. You can see both of those there. Any hero standing on them can spend a movement point. If we do, they get the hero who does so gains 3 experience points. So we got to be tactical about that. Infernal reveals as soon as both color side up objective tokens are removed, the gate opens. Flip the door token indicated with the white. I just need to open the door. I got the miniatures. And then we're going to enter Hell. Any hero on the altar zone marked by the gray objective token, which is way up at the top, may spend 1 MP to exit the dungeon. Once heroes have exited, they have victory. Now we have some new things on the board. I just realized I left this colored side up. I'm going to do it right. We have some things that you haven't seen in the first episode that you'll see here today. There is a spike trap. Now I'm holding it this way in particular because they're random, and on the bottom is the effects of this spike trap. So we're going to see what happens. It could be nothing, could be damage. We also have some treasure chests. I put the tokens down because I think this is a real miss, and I believe somebody else mentioned this too. The treasure chests, unlike the other components in these boxes, don't have the effect of that chest on the bottom. So you have to lay them out and put treasure chests on top of them. There's 2 such treasure chests in there. There's also a pillar here, which we haven't seen before, and an anvil. And an anvil allows us to upgrade items. If we take 3 items of our lowest type and we combine them there, it'll give us an item of the next highest type. That's pretty cool. In this scenario, we also started with 2 mobs. There's one here, which is a group of gargoyles, which you can see right here. We'll get into the details when we have to deal with them. The gargoyles have a common treasure with them, and they have a weapon that's giving them a +1 melee attack. And we also have another group of undead. You saw this in the first scenario. They are up there in the corner with their captain. And now these folks will be moving toward us during the phase. They get 2 actions every turn. Those can be move and or attack actions. For the first parts, they'll be moving because we won't be anywhere near them. And, we're about ready to go. I've seeded the loot bag. The darkness track is on 1. We have 2 Lightbringer tokens. That means we can recover 2 people who have been knocked unconscious. And as the player count goes up, it does actually seem like it gets a little more difficult. So that'll be interesting. And if you're curious about the druid, this is the druid's rules. And it talks about, you'll see it in action, but it talks about how their board works and how they can spend things to make themselves tougher. It tells you what the expense is here. It's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to playing the druid and the shaman because they're so different compared to the characters I played before. And the shaman also has this ability to beef up elements and use those elements with their skills and abilities. There's some inherent abilities that they have. They have some, at some point they get to summon these creatures, but I don't think we'll see that. I got them out just in case. Hopefully we do get to see them, and we'll get going. So now we know our scenario. We are coming into this place. We're looking for a gate to hell so we can go through it. That's crazy. Now, I think if I play this out right, I can do this. This is going to be a pretty long series for us with this because I want to move into one of the big box campaigns, and I don't know which one yet. It might make sense to do the one that goes into heaven after you go to hell. I don't know, we'll see, but I'm going to stick with the Wild Bunch. I may swap out characters with other similarly themed characters. I can't really think of what the other ones might be. I'd have to look through the main game and see. But it wouldn't be the Paladin, right? So these might be the 3 we stick with the whole time. We'll see. And again, because this is not a campaign scenario, the experience and all that doesn't play out any differently than the normal game. Okay, let's get started with round 1. Turn 1, let's get going. So, I think we're going to start with, of course, as we get on with this, we're going to do the hero phase first. And I believe we're going to start with our amazing ranger, Nahaius. And now Nahaius, we didn't look at the characters. We'll look at them as we play. You've already seen Nahaius if you watched the previous one. Nahaius has a bow, a ranger. We'll take a look, I guess. Okay, here's Nahaius. And Nahaius is a centaur ranger. Base ability is a +1 movement because it's centaur. Starts with 2 mana and 5 health. His shadow ability is draw and discard 1 arrow card. That's these, and you understand the arrow mechanic if you watched the last episode, and apply the best effect to it. Nahaius is starting with a short bow, which does yellow, both melee and ranged, and has a battered leather armor. The ability that I forgot to use last time was the fire arrow. If this happens, the defender takes a fire token and then add +1 to the attack. We got to remember that. That's all the time on. And he has a potion. Now, these arrow cards, you know, the mechanic on those is pretty interesting, and we'll see how that plays out as we go. But let's take Nahaius' turn. Okay, first action is going to be a movement action. Now, Nahaius gets an extra movement point, so that action is going to be 3 movement points. We're going to open this door, which is going to do a couple things. First off, we'll expose this token. There's a treasure token in there, so we're going to go to the treasure bag, which is right here. We're going to draw one out. Now, currently there are 10 common treasures and 5 rare treasures in the bag, and we got a common treasure, which is sitting in here. And then we're going to have to draw a door card to see what happens. So these are the door cards. And I'm going to shuffle them every time just because I'm going to discard the ones we use. What do we get? Cramped room. Place 2 treasure tokens and 1 mob in the furthest zone of this chamber. Okay, well, that's going to be interesting because those 2 treasure tokens are going to come up right away since we open the door, right? I imagine. So we'll draw 2. I guess we have to go into the zone, right? Yeah. Not a big deal. So we'll put 2 there, and the mob is going to just appear. So I don't know any reason to put the mob token out. We're just going to draw the mob that's going to be in that room. I'm surprised. I thought we'd get away with not having a mob in there, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, what do we get? Fire entities. Okay, so we're going to get these fire entities into the game, and they're also going to come with an item. This will be the 3rd mob on the board. Let's see what we get. A primeval club, which is going to give, now it gives us better abilities if we collect it from them, but they're going to go there. They're going to have 1 treasure. We're going to have to draw from the treasure bag to see what they have. Man, there's going to be a lot of treasure in this room. It's a good start. Let's draw another treasure for the entities. It's going to be a common treasure. Their thing is that they do have 1 defense die, which is pretty good. And in combat, if they get a claw, they add 1 fire damage to the attacking or defending hero. Okay, let me get the fire bad guys out. By the magic of editing, the fire bad guys are out here. Here is their captain, slightly larger than them, and falls over. And then here are the 3 minions of the mob. And they are, now that was actually point number 1 of action number 1. So we're going to move into here, and then we'll pick up this this token and see. We'll get a treasure out of it. That will go back into the bag, and then we'll get to draw a common treasure. So let's see what we get for Nahaius. This is a good start. We've got fighting going on. We're going to get to test some fighting out. It's going to be pretty cool. Let's see what we get. A quiver. Oh, nice. Range attack gets +1. Oh, man, that is an excellent, excellent item. You saw me shuffle. Couldn't get a better item for Nahaius. Now we're going to put that in the jewelry slot there. That's the slot that it goes into. And now our range attack is going to be 2 yellow dice, which is great because we're about to make that with our second of 3 actions, right? So we're going to, next action is going to be a long range attack on them. Now to make a range attack, we have to be at least 1 away. So we fulfill that obligation, and we are going to get some dice going. So right now there are 3 minions, so we're going to put 3 of these minions from the mob. These dice are going into the dice pool. We are in shadows, which is very important because we're going to get to add the powerful shadow die to it. And then we're going to get to add our 2 yellow dice, 1 for our bow, 1 for our quiver. And that is going to be our dice pool. Now, here's the thing. The one thing that I said in the last episode that I'm not too keen on 100% is that when you get these claw hits here, there's ways to mitigate them, but you can't defend against them. And even in ranged combat, you get them. So I guess we're going in, we're shooting an arrow, and these fire entities are lobbing like flaming crud at us and stuff. So that's why we also can take damage. We also have to avoid their claw effect. So let's go to the dice bowl and roll these dice up and see what happens. Of course, before we do that, we're going to have to draw our arrow cards. Now remember, we're trying to get to 7. 7 is the exact perfect number. I'm going to back out just a little bit so we can see better. Okay, I'm doing a quick shuffle of these cards. We're going to draw our first arrow card. It is a 4. So right now, if I do that, I'll get 1. Wait. I can spend 1 and have the defender take a point. Now, if I get another 4, I'm out of luck. I don't think I want to. I don't know if I want to do this or not. I could draw. I mean, I don't know how many 4s are in there. I have to imagine there's not very many, right? I mean, that has to be a smaller portion of them. Anyway, let's. Do you want to give it a go? Let's give it a go. Man, I've been lucky twice with this. That's a 3. That's a 7. That's perfect. So we're going to get these effects on there. That is great. We're going to stop there, obviously, because we made our number. So we're going to get, and we get this ability. Well, we don't know that yet. We have to roll first. We may get that ability as well. But right now, the defender is going to take a frost token, which means it's going to lose an action. That is perfect. And we're going to get +2 damage on that attack. So while that attack was brutal, we're going to have to see if we can not take damage back. Okay, let's check our dice pool again. So we got our 1 die from our bow, our 1 die from our quiver. There are 3 minions, so we got 3 black dice. The enemy has a blue defense die, and we are in shadows. So we got quite a few dice to roll here. Let's get at it and see what we can do. Hopefully I get to use maybe the fire arrow, and we get to, oh yeah, we get to, well, we know we're going to hit, so we get to do this too. It says defender takes 1 frost token, so that's going to go on them too, which will make them lose their one of their actions. Let's see what we can get here. That's rough. Oh my god, really? I have no rerolls. Okay, they didn't defend. This is good. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 right there with 2 mana on these 2. I don't have any ability to re-roll. Ugh. Okay, so this means we're going to take a wound. And then we're going to take these, the claws mean, what these guys mean, we get to add 1 fire token to the attacking or defending hero. So 3 fire tokens. I mean, that could kill our character. But I really don't have anything else I can do about that. However, we're going to do some serious damage. We've got 2, 3, 4, and I get +2, so that's going to be 6 because of our arrow card. So 6. They each have 3 points, so we're going to take out 2 of these guys in 1 shot. That's good. So there's 2 down. And let's go back to our character's board there. We're going to add 2 mana, but we're going to add 3 fire tokens. That's because of those 3 claws, and I did check it is 1 for each one, not 1 period. So that's 3 yellow dice. I mean, that could literally take us down. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we get lucky or something. I don't know. But we still have another action. I'm debating on whether I want to attack now. I don't have any way to get rid of those. Oh, and we took a damage, so I got to take care of that too. That's going to be that we have 3 and 1 more for 4. This is rough. Well, there's nothing I can do about it now, right? But we do get 2 experience points for taking out the 2 minions, and then we still have 1 attack. Let's draw some more arrow cards. Oh, we did get to do this. Oh man, I get to add a yellow, so we might be able to kill 1 more. I did 6, which means I'd have to do quite a bit. I don't think I can do it on a yellow die. We're going to get 1 more yellow and a fire token on the enemies too. I don't see it. I know they're fire entities, but it doesn't say they're immune to fire, so I guess they're not. But I don't want to forget our fire arrows, so we're going to do that and apply whatever damage we got. So another mana for our character and 1 health damage, which I'll put on the monsters. That makes them a little easier to kill. We got 5 mana on our ranger. Okay, so let's go back and draw again and see what we can get. I think we're going to attack again, so we got to draw a couple more arrows. Okay, so we're going to discard these. We're going to take our 3rd and final action. We got 3. I think it's safe to draw when you have a 3. Right now we could spend 1 for the defender taking 2 fire arrows. We wouldn't get that bonus. Let's draw again and see how close we can get. 4. Right now I'm going to get this and this. Ugh, man. Do I push my luck? Because if I do, well, I broke the arrows. They're bad, right? So let's stop there. We'll stop there. We can get 1 bonus for a mana. That's good. We can spend 1 mana to give it 2 fire tokens. I don't know that we'll need it, but it might be worth it. I think since I got all the extra mana, I might as well. And then we're going to go roll our dice. You know, I probably could have pushed my luck there, but here's the good news. We only got 1 black die. I wish I had some rerolls. I need rerolls. 1 black die and our 2 yellow and our shadow die and their defense dice. Let's see what we get. Nothing on here. That's good. Oh, I think we got him. There's 3. No, that's not going to kill him. Well, I spent the mana to get an extra 1, so this is going to be 4 total. We already have 1, so we need 2 more to kill a minion. So I think this thing's going to die. So 2 more. No, we're going to have 2 left on it. So there, it'll be at 2, and no more fire tokens. That's good. Not great, but our ranger did take out the 3rd fire entity, which means we're going to go up to 3. Man, we might be using one of those Lifebringer tokens as soon as this the ranger activates again. Now, there's a difference between fire and frost tokens. So fire tokens, as soon as this miniature or mob activates, that's the beginning of their turn, as opposed to whenever a miniature or mob would perform an action. Those are 2 different things. So we activated. We're taking 3 actions, so we already activated. So these are going to go off at the beginning of his next turn, Nahaius' next turn. At least that's the way I understand it. Tell me if I'm wrong. I didn't really. I am going to put the 2 fire tokens on him because he might, if he doesn't die this round, he might die in the next round. Might as well do it because I have all this extra mana right now. So we'll spend 2 and do that. And that is going to mark the end of Nahaius' turn. So there we go. I think I got everything right there. That wasn't great. I don't think that was great. But let's move on. I think next up we're going to go with Urk. So Urk, I think that's right. Is it Urk? Looks like Urk to me, doesn't it? I-R-K? I-R-K? Yeah. Okay, at the start of the turn, increase an element by 1. So we're going to go do that. And we have an ability called Firestorm. We need 2 fire and a wind to use it. Allows us to roll an orange die and deal wounds equal to the number of swords to each enemy in range. That's 0 or 1. Plus 1 per fire token. So see, we in conjunction with our ranger's fire tokens, that could be pretty devastating. I don't think it's going to be a big deal this time. But I think we will increase fire by 1. And that is going to be it. And then the first time, each gets to max, it does a special ability. It's pretty cool. Okay. All right. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, I can also spend a mana to put it up 1 more. I mean, I could spend 2 mana right now and get them all up, and then hope I get some more mana on our attacks. Why don't we do that? We're going to spend 2 mana as well, and we're going to go boom, boom. Now I can do the Firestorm. I'm not going to do it now, but I can. I have enough mana I have enough elemental magic stored up to do that. But that is not an action. It's just spending the mana during our turn. So we have 1 mana left, and then I'm going to take a move action. Now Urk has a magic attack. It is this one here, which is the magical ocarina. It does 1 yellow die. A magic attack is 0 or 1. So we're going to take a move action. We're going to go 1, 2 into the space right there, and then we're going to attack. Now, what's our attack dice for them? Of course, the bad guy still gets this die. We still get our shadow die, and we only get 1. There are no more minions there, so no more black dice. Just 1 yellow, 1 purple, and 1 blue is what we're going to do. Now, the cool thing is if we're damaged, the magical ocarina will heal us 1 too, but we'll deal with that as the time comes because I'm sure we'll get damaged at some point. Okay, here we go. Let's see. We need 2 more we need 1 more to kill it. That's it. Let's hope we get there. We got 1 shield, 2 mana, and a sword. I don't have. Oh man, I don't have any rerolls. Man, we got to get rerolls. But Okay, well, we'll just take this. It's going to be a wash on the attack, but we did get 2 mana back, so we'll take that. And then for our third and final action, we're going to do that again. Hopefully we can kill it. That is the exact same roll. So I'll take the 2 mana, I guess. Like I said, I don't have any rerolls, but we did not kill it. That bites. All right, this is proving harder to kill than I thought. Okay, so I guess we're going to go with our druid now. And I could transform her, but I think I'm going to wait. I do have this tribal spear, and it gives us a 1 range, but the range is interesting. It can only go so far. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to move her in. So we'll go 1, 2. She might as well go into the same spot as Urk and do the attack. Now we have this, but we have to be in bear or bird form. So I could have done that. I could have transformed and attacked, but we're just going to attack this turn. We'll save up. Oh, and before we get to increase in everything we're not transformed into. So something I'm going to have to remember. All of these go up. Now, if you're transformed into one, they don't go up. And remember, we spend these to get these abilities. So for our ferocious attack, so you have to spend 1 bear to get this ability when we attack, etc., etc. And we can spend 1 to combat to ignore the blue die. Is that a blue die or black die? That's a black die. So that's not very good. But we're not in bear form anyway. We're just in human form, and we're just going to attack it. Much like the attack from Urk, our second action is going to be to attack it here. We are in shadows, so we do get our shadow die. It got 2. What is these rolls? Oh my gosh. Well, you know, it's great to get mana, but not that useful. So she has 2 more mana. That was her second action. Do I transform and wall up on this guy? I can transform into the eagle and do a peck for 1 orange die. Deal wounds equal to the enemy in magic range. Can't recover trait. Yeah, I can't do things when I'm in that form. And then I get a reroll on the attack if I spend 1 of these. I can transform. I can transform at any time. I don't think there's any restrictions on the transformation, and I don't think it costs anything. Let me just look up transform forms. The druid can assume 4 forms. Once per turn, the druid may transform into from 1 form to another, immediately activating the form's corresponding transformation effect. Okay, I think she's going to transform into the eagle. Poof! And with that eagle, she's going to get her peck attack. So that means that the miniature, let's go right here. The miniature is going to come out. This miniature is going to come off, and the eagle is going to come on the board. And it is not a ranged attack, from what I understand. So we're going to go back and roll some dice. Let's see what we got here. We got an orange die, which is much better. And we got a reroll if we spend one of our ferocity. So we're going to get a purple die because we're in shadows. Though I don't believe we would get this. Let's see. Increase each animal form track by 1 and gain a mana. I don't think we're going to get that if we're in this form. Okay, and then we're going to get no yellow and the blue defense dice. Come on, let's do something really good here. Oh, look at that. That was devastating. No defense, 3 weapon swords, and an attack, plus we get an extra mana. We are mana'd up. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 mana. We did 4 points of damage. That is going to kill the big bad minion leader, the captain, so it is dead. Unfortunately, it's all going to take all of our actions, which kind of bites, but it is what it is. And now we're going to get some experience points. So for killing the captain, she gets 2, and every other hero gets 2 as well. Take it back. She gets 1 more I think she gets 1 more for killing the captain. I'm going to look that up. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. She gets 1 for the kill, and then 1 for the captain. Yeah, so that is correct. So actually, Zuri, who did the kill, would get 3 points total. One for the kill and 2 for killing the captain. Urk would get 2, and what's going to be interesting is that our ranger is going to level up if he survives. So we'll discard our arrow cards. I should have done that, but we're going to end up with 2 more for the kill there, and that's 5. That is great. Okay, now that is the end of all of our hero actions. So we are completely done with the hero phase. Now we're going to go to the enemy phase. Mobs are going to activate. Well, there are mobs to activate. So there's 2 mobs on the board. They're going to activate. This one's going to go 1, 2 to here. All its minions will go with it. And then this one's going to go 1, 2 to here. And all its minions are coming along for the ride as well. So that is the activation to our mob act. Now, if there was an attack there, they would attack first, of course. There's no roaming monsters. And then we're going to go to the level up phase. Well, that's great. Good thing, because we have 1 character that can level up. Okay, so we have Nahaius is going to spend his 5 experience points, go back to 0, which is going to put us at level 2. A couple of cool things happen there. We are going to first get another health point for Nahaius. So Nahaius is now at 5 again instead of 4 after taking the damage. Now, you can go up to 6, which is cool. And also, this token here, this rare treasure token is going into our treasure bag as part of him leveling up. But that's not all. We got a couple more things to do. Now, I need to get the Rangers cards out because we have to make a decision, or rather, I do. We're going to get all the level 1 and 2 cards out for the Ranger. Let me find them here. Alright, there we go. We're going to have 4 new abilities to choose from in the level up phase. We have Arrow Volley, range attack, 1 mana. Each other enemy in the line of sight takes a wound. Piercing Arrow, for each 3 arrows revealed, defender is -1 shield. I'll probably take that one. That one's pretty good. Grappling Arrow, during your first move action of each turn, first draw and discard 1 arrow card, gain 1 movement point per arrow. That's cool. Wow, these are very cleverly done. Improve strings, 1. When you overload, you may choose 1 broken arrow effect to ignore. That's also pretty potent. Strangely enough, it's okay. I think it's down between the improved strings and a piercing arrow, and I really like the piercing arrow, so I think we're going to take that. Yes, it's another level 1 card, but that's okay. And we are going to then put the rest of them back. Now, when we level up again, we can take out all the way up to level 3 now, but I do like that where we can reduce the defense of enemies, because as you saw, the defense of enemies was blocking some damage. Not from him necessarily, but from me. And then, oh, you know what I forgot to do, y'all? We got to do some treasure, because the enemy died. It's interesting. There are a lot of little steps here. So we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to draw a common item. This goes back in the bag, along with our new rare token as well. And get the common items out, and then we're going to get the weapon that was underneath it too. So this would go to actually our druid, the primal club. We'll see if we want to keep that in our stuff, or leather gloves. We'll probably definitely take these. Oh, it's attack a mana to get it. Spend a mana to get a reroll. So we'll probably take that. But those are the 2 items that we got from the fire entities, and then they go back into the discard there for the mobs. And let me go check out these items before we finish up the level up phase for Nahaius. Yes, this is out of sequence, but that's okay. They're both one-handed, so I can take this too. Attack. If you took at least 1 wound in this attack, deal 1 wound to the defender. I like that. I'll keep that in there for now. And then we got the gloves, which are going to give us a reroll with some mana. Finally got some rerolls, and she's happy with that. Now, if I get 1 more item and we get to that forge, I can forge it into something rare, which might be a good idea. Okay, let's continue on. I'm sorry I got out of sequence there a little bit. But that was the level up phase, and that's done. So we're going to go to the darkness phase now. On this first turn, the darkness phase is quite simple. That's all that happens. Okay, so next turn, I think we're going to go with Nahaius first on the next turn. But, we're going to stop there. We do need to reveal the 2 treasure tokens that were in the space now. We can't pick them up yet, but we're going to know what they are at least. Okay, so we had these 2 tokens here, right? We went in and killed the enemy. We still have these 2 tokens, and we're going to draw a couple things out of the bag and see what we get. Let's see. We get a rare, nice, and a common. So next turn, when we're able to pick some stuff up, we're going to get a rare item and a common item, and we'll see if Nahaius survives. Okay, that was our first round of playing with 3 characters. It's a little tricky. I'm still learning, so I think I did pretty good here. So we're just going to keep going, but we'll see what happens in the next episode. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.